What if I told you two Scots built two football empires in Liverpool and Manchester, armed with nothing but grit, vision, and ambition? One led with elegance, the other ruled with an iron fist. Their paths, although different, only briefly crossed, but their legacies still echo through the stadiums today. Sir Kenny Dalglish, the King of Anfield, orchestrated Liverpool's golden era, dominating the 70s and 80s as both player and manager, winning titles and conquering Europe. Sir Alex Ferguson, the ruthless mastermind, inherited a broken Manchester United and turned it into a global empire, rewriting football history through the 90s and 2000s. So, how did these two Scottish giants rise from humble beginnings to the top of world football? This is the story of Sir Kenny Dalglish and Sir Alex Ferguson, the Scots who built football empires and one of the greatest rivalries in English football history. Growing up in the 1950s and 60s, both men were shaped by the grit and resilience that defined Scottish football, where success wasn't handed out, it had to be earned through sheer hard work and an unbreakable will to win. Born in Dalmarnock in the east of Glasgow, by 14, Dalglish's family moved to a newly built tower block in Ibrox, overlooking the home ground of Rangers. Raised in the heart of footballing culture, he idolised Rangers, playing football on the streets and honing his skills. Ironically, he would join Celtic, where he developed into a clinical forward with an unmatched footballing brain. Under the legendary Jock Stein, Dalglish learned the art of possession-based football and tactical discipline, winning multiple league titles and Scottish Cups, and a League Cup before making his move to Liverpool in 1977. It was in Scotland that Dalglish refined his calmness under pressure and his ability to dictate play, qualities that later defined his managerial style. Ferguson, on the other hand, had a different journey. Raised in Govan, a tough shipbuilding district in Glasgow, he was moulded by the raw intensity of local football. Unlike Dalglish, Ferguson wasn't a silky playmaker. He was a fiery, hard-nosed striker known for his aggression and leadership. His playing career took him to clubs like Dunfermline and Rangers, but it was in management where he would leave his true mark. Starting at St Mirren, he showed glimpses of his tactical genius before making history at Aberdeen, breaking the Celtic Rangers duopoly by winning 3 Scottish League titles and, most famously, the 1983 European Cup Winners' Cup against Real Madrid. Both men carried their Scottish upbringing into their managerial careers. Dalglish's intelligence and composure, instilled at Celtic, made him a visionary leader at Liverpool. Ferguson, hardened by his experiences in Scotland, built his reputation as a no-nonsense disciplinarian coach who demanded nothing less than perfection. Their journeys to the top were different, but one thing was clear: Scottish football had created two of the greatest footballing minds the game had ever seen. In 1977, Liverpool needed a new talisman after losing Kevin Keegan to Hamburg. They found their answer in Kenny Dalglish. Signed from Celtic for a British record fee of £440,000, Dalglish quickly proved he was worth every penny. His intelligence, movement and clinical finishing made him an instant success. In his debut season, he scored the winning goal in the European Cup final against Club Brugge, helping Liverpool retain their status as the Kings of Europe. Over the years, Dalglish became the heartbeat of the team, forming legendary partnerships with players like Ian Rush and cementing himself as one of the greatest footballers Anfield had ever seen. By 1985, Liverpool was in a state of transition. The Heysel disaster had rocked the club and Joe Fagan had stepped down as manager. In response, Kenny Dalglish was handed an unprecedented responsibility. He became player-manager, a dual role rarely seen at the top level of football. This move continued the legacy of the boot room, a tradition of promoting from within that had been the foundation of Liverpool's success since Bill Shankly's retirement in 1974. Shankly's successor, Bob Paisley, stepped up from the boot room to lead Liverpool to an astonishing 20 trophies in just 9 seasons. After Paisley's retirement, Joe Fagan carried the torch, winning a treble in his first season at the helm. Dalglish, deeply respected by players and fans alike, was seen as the natural heir. While still pulling the strings on the pitch, he also guided the team from the sidelines, securing 10 major trophies during his managerial stint. It was a bold move, but it paid off instantly. In his first season in charge, Dalglish led Liverpool to a historic League and FA Cup double, becoming the first man in English football to achieve such a feat as a player-manager. His tactical approach blended Liverpool's famous pass and move philosophy with a ruthless winning mentality. He continued the success of previous boot-room managers and built a dominant side that included John Barnes, Peter Beardsley and Alan Hansen, guiding Liverpool to 3 league titles and 2 FA Cups during his first spell. But Dalglish's reign wasn't just about footballing success, it was also marked by unimaginable tragedy. In 1989, the Hillsborough disaster claimed the lives of 96 Liverpool fans during an FA Cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest. Dalglish took on the emotional weight of the tragedy, attending multiple funerals and offering unwavering support to grieving families. The psychological toll was immense, and by 1991, drained from the burden, Dalglish made the shocking decision to resign as Liverpool manager. Despite his departure, Dalglish's legacy at Anfield remains untouchable. He wasn't just Liverpool's greatest player, he was their leader, symbol of success, and rock in times of sorrow. His impact stretched beyond trophies. He defined an era and left a blueprint for what it meant to be a Liverpool legend. His return as manager in 2011 only reinforced his status as the club's beloved king. Even today, Liverpool fans sing his name, knowing that no one embodied the spirit of the club quite like Kenny Dalglish. When Alex Ferguson arrived at Manchester United in 1986, the club was a sleeping giant. Once the dominant force of English football under Sir Matt Busby, United had fallen into mediocrity, watching helplessly as Liverpool reigned supreme. The squad lacked discipline, fitness and a winning mentality, something Ferguson immediately set out to change. His first order of business? Breaking the drinking culture that plagued the team and instilling a ruthless work ethic. But despite his ambitious plans, results were far from immediate. The late 80s were brutal for Ferguson. United struggled in the league, finishing as low as 11th in 1989, and pressure mounted. Fans grew restless, and by early 1990, speculation was rife that Ferguson was on the verge of being sacked. But then came a defining moment, the FA Cup final against Crystal Palace. After a tense 3-3 draw, United won the replay 1-0, securing Ferguson's first trophy at the club. It wasn't just silverware, it was salvation. That victory bought him time, and he used it wisely, restructuring the squad and setting the foundations for what would become a footballing dynasty. The turning point came in the early 90s when Ferguson made 2 game-changing moves. First, he signed Eric Cantona in 1992, a charismatic leader who became the catalyst for United's first Premier League title in 1993, their first league triumph in 26 years. Second, he put his faith in youth. While critics laughed at his decision to promote the likes of David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs and the Neville brothers, Ferguson proved them wrong. The class of '92 became the backbone of a relentless winning machine, leading United to an era of dominance that defined English football for nearly 2 decades. Ferguson's crowning achievement came in 1999 when his United side completed the historic treble, winning the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League in a single season. The dramatic Champions League final against Bayern Munich, where United scored twice in stoppage time, embodied Ferguson's never-say-die attitude. Over his 26-year reign, he built a dynasty, winning 13 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups and 2 Champions League trophies. More than just trophies, Ferguson left behind a culture of excellence, discipline and relentless ambition, one that transformed Manchester United into the biggest football club in the world. For years, English football had one dominant force, Liverpool. From Bill Shankly's foundations to Bob Paisley's fortress to Joe Fagan's quiet and unassuming stewardship, Liverpool dominated England and Europe. Under Dalglish, the emperor on and off the field, they perfected the art of winning, combining attacking flair with a rock-solid mentality. They were the team everyone aspired to beat, the gold standard of success. But as Liverpool's golden era began to fade, Ferguson had one mission: knock them off their perch. He didn't just want to challenge Liverpool, he wanted to destroy their dominance and replace it with Manchester United's own empire. Their rivalry played out both on and off the pitch. During Dalglish's first spell as Liverpool manager, he still had the upper hand, beating Ferguson's struggling United in crucial matches and maintaining Liverpool's superiority. But Ferguson was a master of the long game. He used psychological warfare, famously engaging in press battles with Dalglish, questioning referees and constantly applying pressure on rivals. Dalglish, never one to back down, responded with sharp wit, often mocking Ferguson's claims. The tension between the two added extra fuel to what was already the fiercest rivalry in English football. By the mid-90s, the tide had turned. Ferguson had built a winning machine at Old Trafford, and Liverpool was no longer the dominant force they once were. The defining moment came in 2009 when United won their 18th league title, equaling Liverpool's long-standing record. 2 years later, in 2011, Ferguson's United surpassed it with their 19th, cementing his claim that he had knocked Liverpool off their perch. It was a symbolic shift. Liverpool had been the kings of English football for decades, but Ferguson had rewritten history, making Manchester United the new standard of greatness. Despite their fierce battles, both men left a lasting impact on the game. Dalglish was the embodiment of Liverpool's golden age, a player and manager who defined what it meant to be a Red. Ferguson, on the other hand, revolutionised Manchester United, turning them into the biggest club in world football. Their legacies are forever intertwined, two Scots who built football empires and shaped the course of English football history. Even years after their managerial reigns ended, the legacies of Kenny Dalglish and Sir Alex Ferguson continue to shape Liverpool and Manchester United. Dalglish remains the symbol of Liverpool's golden era, a man whose influence goes beyond trophies. His emphasis on attacking football, loyalty to the club, and deep connection with the fans set a standard for what it means to be a Liverpool leader. His return as manager in 2011, guiding the club to a League Cup victory, reinforced his legendary status. Liverpool FC still echoes Dalglish's ideals, with managers like Jurgen Klopp embracing the same attacking philosophy, high standards, and emotional bond with the supporters that Dalglish established decades ago. Ferguson, meanwhile, built Manchester United into a global powerhouse, creating a culture of relentless ambition and a refusal to accept anything less than excellence. His impact is seen in how United approaches every competition, with the belief that they should always be at the top. His famous hairdryer treatment and ability to evolve tactics over decades remain a reference point for modern managers. Even after his retirement in 2013, the club struggled to replace his towering presence, a testament to just how deep his influence ran. Kenny Dalglish and Sir Alex Ferguson didn't just manage teams, they shaped the very fabric of English football. Dalglish gave Liverpool a golden era, dominating the domestic and European stage as a player and manager with his visionary attacking football. Ferguson, on the other hand, rebuilt Manchester United into an unstoppable force, surpassing Liverpool's records and redefining success in the modern era. Their rivalry, their influence, and their impact will forever be remembered in football history. But now, we turn it over to you. Who do you think had the bigger impact on football? Was it Dalglish, the King of Anfield, who led Liverpool through triumph and tragedy? Or Ferguson, the mastermind who built Manchester United into a global powerhouse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into football's greatest minds, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss another incredible football story. Thanks for watching.